Hello, and welcome to another completely unprofessional unboxing. My name is Scott, and today I'm going to be opening something. If you can't focus in on what this says, I'm sure you'll figure out soon. But rather than let this spoil it, I'm just going to go ahead and open it right away. So this is a Kickstarter fulfillment, and what do we have in here? Trusty Coleman camping steak knife, and we'll just kind of give a little poke here. Go ahead and give it a nice like that. Bubble wrapped and sealed. Oh, it's part of the envelope. My bad. And bring this out. Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay. All right. So, nice little quote here on the back before I reveal it. I'm going to go ahead and read it now. A lot of what made up Blackmore was input from the players, and the way they were seeing the world, and what they were doing in it. I just kept notes, I built the framework, and would occasionally throw in a few storylines, but it was the players getting involved and filling in a lot of the gaps that made a difference. Dave Arneson. Yep, wonderful, wonderful little quote. So, what is this? This is Knock. Knock 2 to be precise. The first Knock was a wonderful, I think the term they used was kind of like it was this wonderful fanzine of sorts, a variety of information regarding stuff within the OSR, anything from short adventures, nemesis, protagonists, classes, short stories, random tables, just a variety of things that can be utilized in all sorts of, not just OSR, but any game, which, some things were even articles. So like a fanzine, but thicker than your standard zine. And it didn't fail. I mean, some things were hit or miss, as they are in a lot of these compilations. But on the whole, just the artwork, the layout, the presentation was fantastic. And very happy that I was able to get the second one here. So we're going to go ahead and take a quick look at it. All right. So similar to the other one, the cover comes off. And the cover itself, a micro setting for OD&D written in one day by Gabor Lux and Gloomywood. Wonderful. I mean, these are a nice little hex, tons of information. Can easily be, all of these things usually can be utilized if you're just looking for a one-shot or to go ahead and impose or cram or utilize within whatever your current campaign setting is. So we'll set that aside. All right, so Knock, an adventure gaming bric-a-brac. Yeah, perfect term. The last one was a giant bric-a-brac, and this one I assume is going to be the same, being a compendium of miscellanea for use with old school role-playing games. Yeah, well, for any games. It doesn't just have to be old school. All right, so right off the bat, we have what looks to be a mishmash of maps, and then we have D6 of magical tomes on page 1. Editor-in-Chief, Eric Nieuweden, ballet master, handyman, and layout, Lamafia, Oliver Revenue. So we got the foreword. Knock is back. It feels like we're putting together our first issue just a few weeks ago. Yet as I'm typing this, we are about to send number 2 to the printers. I suppose that next to the 2 years we spent assembling the first one, these past 6 months felt like a blink of an eye. Maybe this is because I'm just a 3-dimensional meat sack stuck in a linear time continuum. Or maybe I just need sleep. Yes, that's probably what it is. And a drink. Or a cocktail. Or some allergy meds, like me. Ugh. Anyways, let me first thank you, our backers and readers. Once again, we are humbled by the amount of interest and support that you give us. It feels like our little niche of the hobby is growing every day. Merci beaucoup. We are proud to be part of the great takeover of the adventure games with you. So we come to you with another thick brick of bric-a-brac. Among other things, we have some hex crawls and exploration-related pieces. You could almost call this our expert set. But don't fear, we don't plan to stop at immortals. Okay, where's my trombone? It's a joke. We've only just scratched the surface. This is metric tons of great content out there. Oh, come on. You could have said this is a metric ton of shit. It's fine. We're all adults. Some that has stuck with us over the years. Some we have read but failed to put to use. And a lot we've never even seen. And of course, we all keep asking our favorite designers to come up with new stuff. So find a comfortable seat aboard. The cruise is just starting. Okay. And a nice, wonderful piece of darkened creatures in the middle of a darkened forest, dragging either the body of someone up the steps or down the steps, you never can tell, to have their way as they see fit. Quite a variety of contributors, of course. We have 203 pages of content, and we're just going to take a quick breeze through here. Now, I'm going to point out, okay, real quick, this is probably the same, the same thickness as Rack and Veil, one that I have previously done. And one of my biggest complaints about Rack and Veil, or actually I should say my only complaint because I haven't had a chance to go through it, but is as wonderful as the artwork is, the artwork was not provided in color. And several of those pieces were originally colored, and when you are, moving colored artwork into a black and white environment, some of those things have to be done with either great care or attention, or not done at all, because you're just going to create a gray mess of things that almost do the original pieces an injustice. So, with that, as you can tell, this artwork is going to run the gambit of black and white and colored pieces, but the pages themselves, have a variety of color. So and this was not much more price wise, I would imagine. I mean, this is not utilizing a ton of color within the book, depending on what it is, of course, as you can see. But what it's done is it just brings it more to life. The immersion of what they're presenting within the game, or even showing the work and utility of these artists and what they can do. It just wasn't copied on a on a Xerox and stapled. This was recreated to the best of they can to show the original piece itself. I kind of hope that the producers of Rack and Veil, if they're going to create other things, or even if they're going to come out with a special edition or something, that it really evokes that artwork and shows the color. I understand production costs are involved. I understand a lot of things are involved in dealing with artwork in publications. I'm not trying to downplay that. And there was, like I said, there's probably good reasons for it. Just unfortunate that it had to go that route. So anyways, back to Knock. Sorry to take that little side route. So yeah, those unfamiliar with it, it is, like it says, a bric-a-brac of stuff. Immediately we have advice for DMs, advice for players, rolling over into cheap tricks. There's a lot of good GM advice out there, so cheap tricks to do if you're running your game. And I would imagine, failure tricks, humor tricks, horror tricks, things not to take advantage of your players, but to keep them on their toes. We have a random character generator for a Knight Errant class. Planning dice with death. We have, let's see what here. This is essentially how to deal with death if someone dies. Landmark hidden secret. So information's on how to utilize a landmark or hidden, or it can be secret. So yeah, it's going to be full of things such as this. Every new, I guess, chapter, part of it, piece of it, the artwork's going to change. The general presentation is going to change, and the information provided to you is going to be different. Whether it be tables, character creation, advice, tombs, the sorcerer corpse hazards, the pieces here, and they're presented differently. Some are presented as straight out advice and tables, and others are presented as a what would be considered a manual of written in the form of something that you would pick up at the Witchfinder General's office. So you're going to find a lot of this, and as I mentioned, I believe it's 203 pages of this. It's going to kind of be a bit all over the place. So going from something such as this in its layout and presentation, the anatomy of a dungeon map, a little bit more normal and streamlined, to suddenly you're dealing with, where was it? You're dealing with changes in style and font, similar to what you would find in Morkborg, or so to speak. And if that kind of style and flair isn't your thing, don't let it dissuade you from getting this, because it's throughout these types of books, but you're going to be missing out on a lot if you're being a little bit of a layout or font snobbish, so to speak, which there is a lot of that, unfortunately, including myself, but mine is more utility. I cannot stand red font on a black background, or vice versa. Not because I feel it's bad, it's just I am colorblind in regards to those colors, and it makes it impossible for me to read. I literally would have to take a picture of the book and bring it up on my screen or on my phone to read it, as the representation of the picture makes it readable to me, but the actual color on the page does not, just due to color blindness. It sucks. Okay, so as you can see, it's going to continue on and on, and these, as wonderful these things are you going to use a lot of this? No. Being realistic, are you going to read all of this? Some people will. Some people are just going to flip through this every once in a while, or go to the chapter heading for inspiration, depending on what they're working with. Is it going to provide you with said inspiration or ideas? Absolutely. Is it going to get you upset? Of course. Things such as this, especially items that provide advice, is going to conflict with some people's sensibilities. It always does. But what makes you different regarding that is you don't allow those differences of sensibilities to make you closed-minded. Just because you don't agree with the article on typical dungeons doesn't mean that you can't enjoy this particular chapter. Complete the encounter, the dungeon masters. Oh, what is this? This is looks like a Mad Libs thing, maybe. Anyways, so yes, it's Knock, and likewise Knock 2 is going to be something that you can pull down from your shelf if it's a slow Sunday, you haven't played in a while, or if you're looking to start up something new, or if there's that one article you remember regarding something that suddenly pertains to what you're working with. So yeah, it's going to... What do we have here? Tomb of Horrors done. Okay, variety of maps. Okay, so takes on maps and whatnot. Excellent. I'll have to focus on that. I am a map fanatic. And creatures, wonderfully evocative and new creatures, and that, for some reason that looks familiar. The artwork, Dreamcrawler, and so on. D is for demons. Okay, I'm going to dog ear this one. Oh, yeah, here we go. Look at these things. Nothing like a good demon or devil to really, really turn up your game to 11. The Errant Friar. Wonderful. Okay. The platyperson. All right. Well, I can't complain. I like ducks and glorantha, so nothing wrong with getting your anthropomorphic furry on. And here we go. As we go down, and what did we conclude on? We have take a short rest and recover some health. A nice little, that'd be a nice, wonderful little poster to have in your game room. As you're sitting there slurping and chomping, and a beholder is just appearing around the corner. And here we go. And we end on the back page with the picture that was on the back cover here. A pact with the devil. What does the devil want in exchange for help? And what would the devil do for free? Well, before I conclude it, I'll go ahead and do a quick roll for this, just for shits and giggles. Since my daughter is so busy and my son is so busy that they have been missing from my videos, but I hope to get them in soon. So, what does the devil want in exchange for help? He wants a destitute, the blood of a destitute friend of yours. All right, so the blood of a destitute friend of yours. Easy. That's not saying that would be something that I can accomplish, but considering my specific types of friends, there should be no problem with them accidentally hurting themselves at some point in time. And then what would the devil do for free? He would kill or disable a willing enemy or rival. Well, I mean, okay. Well, they all can't be winners. I mean, if he's willing, what's the point? Anyways, wonderful piece here by Tim Malloy, and the actual table by Eric Newden. I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly. If I'm not, I apologize. So here we are. So that concludes yet another completely professional unboxing of Knock number 2. Get a chance to pick it out if you're a fan of the OSR games or OSO style games, or even if you're just looking for something to spice up anything. Just because it's old school doesn't mean it has to stay within the realms of what's considered old school. I mean, pick this up for inspiration for your Tales of Equestria game. I mean, fuck, who cares? Oh, sorry, don't normally cuss in this, but anyways. So, Knock number 2. If it's up your alley, definitely check it out, pick it up. You will not regret it. You will definitely find enough in here to make it worth your while. So, once again, Scott, and I think I already said this has yet been a completely unprofessional unboxing, but oh well. I thank you for your time, and I look forward to seeing you again. Take care.